kind of interesting about this band. They wanted to be mainstream. They wanted to get their name out there, but because of the way they looked, no one would hire them or sign them an album. So Yoshiki, being the only son of a single parent, because his dad committed suicide when he was 13, and he walked in on the kid. Like if you ever walked in on the body, if you ever listen to the song, I think it's Tears. No. He actually wrote a song that was meant for his father. He currently lives in LA. He put on J-Rock Revolution 2 or 3 years ago, which I got looking into. I'm getting off subject. Basically, Yoshiki, he went to his mother and said, I want to do this. And she had a kimono shop. She's like, okay, I'm going to sell my shop, and here's your money to start your record company. Have fun. So that's how they pretty much broke in. And the only reason anybody who's familiar with the X anime, like X 1999 and the Clamp thing, they did a lot of the songs. Like if you look really hard, you can find like a couple music videos set to like Kurenai and a couple other tracks, and that's pretty much how everybody knows or got into X Japan. Hide passed away in '97. If you're thinking about like, you want to compare him to like Elvis, his fans worship him. God forbid you say Hyde, because it's H-I-D-E. If you say Hyde, you're going to get jumped. No, it's Hide! You're pronouncing it wrong! Fans can be even as crazy as going, well, you didn't even capitalize his name right. Really? It's all lowercase? I'm sorry! This band has had a lot of trouble. They broke up. Toshi the vocalist was like involved in like kind of cult activity and all kinds of charges. And they recently decided to get everybody back together. Everybody seen, was it Saw 4? Like the ending thing to Saw 4 was an X Japan song. I think they called their names. But he's currently in LA. Like a couple years ago, they put on something called J-Rock Revolution, where it was 2 nights, 10 bands. The first night it was Kagura, Miyavi, and Alice 9, Muku, Mary of all people, that's the whole reason I went, Gigamesh, not Gilgamesh. I'm sure you've seen that internet. Bands. Like, one of the guys from New City was there. And I almost got myself jumped. Before watching the last live of X, who cares? I'm not here for you. I'm not getting glared at. I almost got my butt kicked in line. But they're basically on a world tour right now. When the earthquake hit, Yoshiki had like a very custom piano that made of acrylic that C3D auctioned off for the earthquake and all that fun stuff. Where we had guys like Dax who were standing in the street, shaking hands with people and taking donations. Personally, taking money, and he like basically started his own earthquake relief fund. Like a bunch of J-Rockers supporting him in 9 yards. Okay, so now, moving on to color. This band, they were formed pretty much around the same, a little bit later than X Japan, because they were pretty much just put together in '82. These guys were 85. It consisted of Dynamite Tommy, Tetsuya, Cindy, Miri, and Toshi. This is Dynamite Tommy when he was young and pretty. Dynamite Tommy later on went on to help produce Durham Gray. He basically he knew them, and so he went to Yoshiki. He's like, hey, this band's really great. Yoshiki produced Durham Gray, but I'll get to that too. I'm kind of getting ahead of myself. Whereas X Japan was completely hard rock, big anthem, hair metal, whatnot. These guys were punk. Underground punk, and again, same situation, no one would sign them. And the problem is because their attitude. And even to this day, Dynamite Tommy is still, I'm a punk. I'm an anarchist, conspiracy theories, the whole 9 yards. Their bassist, Mary, he passed away in a car wreck. So I'm like, oh, intense. Passed away in a car wreck. They have a memorial live on his birthday every year. A couple guys from an old band called Bisexual who went on to do, who went on to be in Zigzo and got a new one called Testino. Like the bassist was their roadie, and they kind of got them started too. So what's interesting about this band, like I said, they were punk. They were major for maybe a year. They were in a small area, and the crowd got so worked up, a couple people got trampled. So they're like, oh, we're just gonna lay low, and we lost our recording contract. It's like, ooh, every time. The thing is, he's a much better producer than he is as a singer. If you ever go looking at the cover songs, you'll be like, oh, here's her leaving. There's something called Sisters No Future, which was actually kind of funny later because it's like, hey, let's go to the park with a video camera, and we're all gonna dance in front of it. Fancy meeting you here. I mean, come on. It's like, really? Really? But yeah, like I said, he's more of a producer than he is a drummer. I mean, he went on to like help, like right now even Mary is on the Free Will label. There's a lot of bands on Free Will. Even Kasaki's Undercode Production is a subdivision of Free Will. So, okay, moving on. Okay, who's familiar with Bucktick? Anybody? Anybody? Really? Bucktick started around '83. The whole reason these guys have been around forever. Sakurai still performs, the whole group. Lyrics, like, if you're actually watching the videos, they're very sexual and dirty, especially if you look something up called Kimi no Vanilla. It's like, really? You're listening to Mannequin? Really? That's not creepy at all. The guys the band consists of, they're, Sakurai, Amai, Toligami, Uta, and Hide. But they pretty much, they're all over the place. They started like electronic rock and kind of popular, and the whole reason, like, we have our hair up. Well, they changed it later, and like, well, why'd you take your hair down? I got tired of putting it up. Seriously. And their stuff is pretty much, they're all over the place, like alternate rock, goth rock, industrial rock, electronic rock, dark wave, power pop. I mean, their albums vary so greatly. Like, you've got like almost 20 years of these guys. And it's just a huge amount of stuff. I mean, they throw live concerts every year. Sakurai likes to molest things on stage, like mic stands, and their guitarist will wear elf shoes. It's like I can't really. The lead singer actually was when he was doing a solo project. He was actually in a movie called Longinus. Which, anybody seen Versus? Oh, come on. Versus is like the most awesome movie ever. But the director for that movie did this little J-Rock movie for the lead singer of Bucktick. And I was like, oh, vampires, you're doing what? You can still find it subtitled if you look hard enough. If you can download your lives, because I know people before. The DVDs run like $40, $50, $60 a pop. But their lives are pretty entertaining. And Sakurai's voice is just, it's liquid sex.